Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. I'm Chuck Guglielmo, and excited today because we're going to talk Cleveland Indians baseball with my buddy over here, Bill Kehoe, who was just back from Arizona. And before we get into that, Bill, I got one announcement I'd like to make. Someone had asked me to. Teresa Rogers has sent this announcement for us. Conneaut High School junior class officers and parents are hosting a rigatoni dinner fundraiser to help benefit the prom. Come out for dinner on Wednesday, April 6th from 4:30 to 7:30 at the Conneaut High School cafeteria. Dinner includes salad, drink, and dessert. Cost is $8 for adults, $5 for students and seniors, and children under 3 are free. Carry-out is also available. They're selling tickets, dinner tickets and 50/50 raffle tickets to be drawn that day. And I have tickets for sale, or you can buy at the door. So you can contact Stephanie Chase at, her email is schase@cacsk.12org, or you can call Teresa Rogers for 50/50 tickets or dinner tickets at 593-1987. That's 593-1987. Okay, Bill Kehoe is here. Bill, of course, is retired from the post office. How long have you been retired now?
3 years.
3 years.
Hard to believe.
3 years, and you've been there how long?
I've been there 29 years.
29 years, so, and really a great career.
Oh, great career. I was very fortunate to work at the GE and then at the post office, so I count my blessings.
Well, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Indians today, and of course, Bill and his 2 sons were down in Goodyear, Arizona this past week. Bill, you've gone how many years to Goodyear?
I've gone 5 years to Goodyear, and I went 5 years to Winter Haven, Florida.
What's the comparison like between Arizona and Florida?
I kind of like Arizona better, only because all the parks are really close together, and they share parks. So everything's 10, 15 minutes away. I think the farthest trip was maybe 40 minutes, versus Florida, where they're quite a distance away. And if they get a rain, the whole state's wiped out. There's no games at all. Whereas Arizona, we've yet to have. In my 5 years there, I don't recall any rain.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and in your week there, how many games were you able to catch?
Every day.
Every day you were able to catch a game. Some of them were in the evening?
Yep. Wherever the Indians go, we go. So just plan I actually look forward to seeing the schedule come out, because we rent a house there. Has a pool, hot tub, so there's something to do at the house too. And basically you get the schedule and say, hey, we're going here this day, we're going there. Night game, we need to fill in the day. So it's pretty exciting.
So how many games did they win?
I think they lost maybe 1 during the time we were there. They just starting to heat up.
Because they're 12-12 going into play today. They're 12-12. So what's the biggest thrill, would you say, of going to Arizona? Is it the weather? Is it the baseball? Is it just getting away?
It's everything. It's this beautiful sunshine, the little cool breeze. Being with my 2 boys is probably, for me, the biggest thing, the biggest thrill for me.
Sure.
But yeah, it's the atmosphere, Like I told my son, we start walking over the practice field, it's like, hey, here's where your dad turns into a 10-year-old. And, I get running over there, and now they're the same way, And the one highlight for this year is my son got to throw out the first pitch at one of the games. He had named one of the IP beers. Apparently he followed him on Facebook and won the chance to throw out the first pitch. And then he wanted to give it to me, and I said, Dan, geez, I'm so happy that you're here, that, once you do it. And then I got to go out in the field with him anyway. He threw the pitch.
How exciting.
I was on the field, and then when it all ended, we shook hands with the players right by the dugout there. And I was like, I couldn't believe it.
I was just going to ask, how close and personal can you get with the ball players?
Well, that particular, with that case, which is rare, that you'd be able to throw the pitch and shake hands. But to answer your question, when you go to the practice field, You have the main field here, and then back farther, the pitchers are pretty much back there. But yeah, they have like a 30-foot long fence, and you wait till practice is done, and here they come. You know, you have your pen ready.
So the players are pretty good about
Very good. Most of them are good.
responding.
There's some that, you know, and especially if you're there 6 days straight, you know who the good ones are and who tends to stray. So.
Now, for all the years you've been going, is there one particular Indian that stands out in your mind as to being the best for you? Of all the years you've been going down there?
The best, well, when I think of the best autograph, it was always Jake Westbrook. Always took his time. And if you've acquired any autographs over the years, some of them are mostly scribbled. That's like I tell the kids. You know, I met my brother Tom and his son there too. As soon as you get home, write down the names, because tomorrow you're going to remember who that scribbling was, or you put the number down so you know. Because at practice, they don't have the names on the jerseys, so you got to know the face. And you know, some of them are horrible. Some are bad, some are good. But you get to talk to the guys as they're, you know, we were pulling for Tyler Naquin to make the team.
And he did.
Yeah. Hey, you heard anything yet? Nah, nothing yet. Yeah, we're pulling for you. Hey, thanks. You know. And we did make the team. My son went up to him and said, "Hey, nice job." And so that's kind of neat for us.
How was Albert Bell?
I never saw Albert.
Oh, really?
No, he was gone in Florida by the time I went down there.
That's pretty understandable.
Albert was gone, but Omar, I got a story about Omar if we have time.
Sure, we got time.
And I think it was '03, I had taken my sister down to the game, and we looked at the lineup there, and Omar wasn't on it, didn't think anything of it. Went to the third base side and sat down, and we see this family here talking Spanish. Didn't think anything of it. I looked at him, and boy, I said, that looks like Omar. I think it is. So as the family he went back and went like this, shh, don't say nothing. And then after he got up to leave, he said, "Omar, can I get a picture of my sister?" So it was, those are kind of moments that you remember.
Exactly. Now, what about Kenny Lofton? What was he like? I mean, he's probably one of the all-time better Indians, but I understand his personality wasn't always the best among the fans.
I got Kenny after he had playing days. I think my first appearance in Florida was '03. So I don't recall if he was even there. If he was, I think he had did he come back for 1 year?
Yeah.
But never saw him at spring training.
Okay.
Saw Jim Tomey. I think he was playing for the Phillies. Him and his dad were there.
Okay, now you mentioned your son's going. Now this is the second year in a row that they have gone, so they've been there twice.
Right.
What are some of the things they tell you that is their biggest thrills about going down there?
You know, just being together, sharing different things. You know, they're off days. We got to experience some golf. You know, I never thought. I was hoping that they'd enjoy it, but they're planning on coming next year. So they're just, you know, just excited to be around baseball, and it's an exciting atmosphere to be around the players, and I think it's kind of rubbed off on them because it's like, what time we leaving? And every day is almost like Groundhog Day, or the movie there. But you know, we get to the ballpark at 10. If you want to go to the game, which we do, we go at 1. Get home about 4, unwind, and go to the movies. So that's pretty much every day. So I told my brother when he decided he wanted to come, I says, "Tom, this is what we do." So he was on board, and in fact, I think there's times when he wants to get there earlier than I do.
Now, the week that you choose to go, like you just came back last week, is that normally the week you always pick in the month of March?
I always pick the third
week. A little bit later towards spring training?
Third week of March, because I've gone earlier, but you're more exposed to the younger kids, the Class A, AA kids.
You want to see more of the,
right.
Who's going to be on that roster starting next Monday?
That's right, exactly.
Yeah,
because there's battles going on, players are making the team, it's between this guy, things are starting to get set. So that's when I enjoy. In fact, I emailed to make reservations for next year. So
you do have to make reservations a whole year in advance.
Oh, yeah.
So if I wanted to go to Arizona next year, I better get busy like right now.
Well, I want to get the same house I had, because that's what I'm talking. Because I love the house we're at. We've been there at this particular house 3 years in a row. and it has everything that we need. So, but no, for the average person, probably if you want to rent a house, if you want to get a hotel, it's probably maybe 2 months in advance, maybe a little more. But if you want to rent a home, say a small house, we stay in Avondale. If you wanted to rent something, Goodyear, Buckeye, anything around that area, if you wanted a house, I would get on board about November, October, sooner the better.
Okay.
If you're committed.
Almost like right after the World Series, start
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Right. You can go to homeaway.com and look at houses in the area. Yeah, they're all beautiful homes.
Well, from what you saw in just the 1 week, what are you looking for the Indians to do here in 2016? Just in that 1 week period that you saw.
Oh, I tell you, this is the first.
We're going to get into the grind of it, but just a quick fill.
I see a better team than I left a year ago. I really do. They say the pitching is going to be better. Well, the pitching is going to be better because the defense is going to be better. I see them picking up some amazing hitters in Uribe and Myron Bird. I mean, those are professional hitters. You know, it's just amazing.
And right-handed hitters, something that they've needed for years.
Right. And the day we left, Uribe hit a home run. I mean, the bat speed
Monster
is
home run to
amazing.
left.
Right. And Urshela's ready. He was impressive. He's ready to play, but they're so worried about the offense, especially in the month of April, with Brantley being gone, that they've kind of loaded up. They picked up a couple bats, which now with Brantley missing probably the first week or two, was probably a good idea.
You mentioned the month of April, of course. We all know that they have struggled in the month of April the last several years, meaning they have to play catch-up all year. How important, as far as you are concerned, that they play at least 500 in the month of April? How important is that?
That is important.
Especially when you got the world champions in your division.
Right. The only good thing is they've kind of lightened up the battle, interdivision battle during the month of April. But
I see that, yeah.
Yeah, they really have to be at least 500 April, because you don't want to. That killed us last year playing catch up.
What's it going to take to win a home opener? I can't remember when we won a home opener, and we got David Price next Monday, so the chances there aren't all that great either.
Maybe some sunshine. I don't know.
It's not happening, Bill. I already see 34 degrees for next Monday.
Oh.
Worse than this Monday.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. That's just not
Especially
right.
coming from that mid-80 degree weather, although they're having a cold front going through Arizona. It's going to be down under 80 today.
Oh, boy.
Well, one of the strong things I see about the Cleveland Indians this year is the catching department with Yan Gomes and Roberto Perez. Both are very good defensively, especially throwing out runners. I think I saw Perez's percentage last year was 39%. And they're both right-handed bats. I don't see any problems in the catching department. What about you?
Oh, no. I think Perez could start for any team down there. And to have a healthy Gomes all year. Boy, remember how it crippled him last year when he got
early
taken out,
in the year, the whole month
taken
of
out by Rajay Davis, by the way,
Yeah.
who's now playing for the Indians. But that was devastating, really was. But yeah, if he's healthy, hit a couple home runs when we were there, big plus.
As good as Gomes is, even when Perez is going to be in that lineup maybe once, maybe twice a week, I don't feel disappointed about it.
No, good power. Defensively, you're not missing a beat.
Moving over to first base, I think we got a little bit of an upgrade here now with Mike Napoli coming over. He's been impressive during the spring training. He didn't have a great year last year, but injuries bothered him. He will probably get most of the first base duties along with Carlos Santana, who I think Carlos Santana has to produce this year. He really does. I know his power numbers and RBIs they're decent, they're okay, but I think that batting average needs to get up there.
Right. He's got a big swing that they're trying to cut down. He's also, as his free agent year, he could be trade bait maybe towards the All-Star break. Yeah, he has that big swing.
Does he bother you when he's at the plate? Swinging for the fences?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially when all you need maybe at the time is just a little blooper to get that run in.
I like the addition of Napoli, big plus. Plus defensively, he's probably one of the best first basemen in the league. And got that power. And, he's recovering from sleep apnea, says he's a new man.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Napoli. And again, he'll probably play at least first base, I would say 4, maybe 5 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
Santana will be DH. A lot of DH candidates on this team, too. Second base, we got, of course, Jason Kipnis, who might be leading off to start the season because of Brantley starting on the DL. Kipnis had a very good year last year after an injury-filled year before. Does he need to repeat that performance?
That would be nice. I don't know if he can. It was a nice comeback year for him. He's healthy, had a nice spring. Looks pretty good.
Do you like him leading off? I mean, he can almost bat 1, 2, or 3.
I do like him leading off, only because you got another nice bat in Lindor. You know, Lindor's his bat, and Urshela or Uribe, good contact hitter.
And on occasion, Jose Ramirez, who has made the ball club. You know, when he first came to the Indians, I wasn't too high on him, but I'm getting a little interested in him. He can play, of course, he's a versatile player, has good speed, has a little pop in his bat on occasion, too.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't bother me anymore like he used to.
He had 2 home runs in one game we were at. He's a spark plug, man. You get him on bases, and he's flying. Mm-hmm. I like him, and I think that because he doesn't have Lindor looking over his back when he's playing short, he's more relaxed, he's a better player. I'm kind of seeing it on the field.
So he will be the new Michael Vilas. I'm assuming he will fill that role there.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a nice job.
And what about Francisco Lindor? What can we say about Lindor? No sophomore jinx, right, Bill? Don't tell me that.
No. Positive, upbeat, class act. You want an autograph, no problem.
A little bit more power than I thought, at least last year.
From both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive.
Do you like him hitting 2?
2 or 3.
He'll probably hit 3, I'm thinking, while Brantley is out.
Yeah.
And then probably move to 2. You got Kipnis, Brantley, and Lindor. That's a pretty good threesome.
That is a good threesome.
At the top of your order. All can run.
Yep.
All play pretty darn good defense. Third base, you already mentioned Juan Uribe, even though he's about 37, 38 years old. A big improvement over Lonnie Chisenhall defensively and offensively.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you got Urshela's waiting to come up, too. But, yeah, if he can play a halfway decent third base, definitely an upgrade over Chisenhall, who's doing a nice job in right if he's healthy. He had some forearm issues. But, yeah, it could be an exciting year.
Are you disappointed at all that they sent Urshela down?
No.
You're not?
No.
Even though he had a great spring.
He had a great spring. He's still a kid. I think they're just so paranoid over the month of April. And with Brantley being out, they want to get some offense in there. And right now, Uribe's the answer. But I think it won't be long. You're going to be seeing that kid up here.
Down the road, Bill, looking at Giovanni Urshela, do you see him as a power hitter?
He showed some power.
He does show some power, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Had 3 or 4 home runs.
We all know he's a wizard at third base defensively.
Yep. Tall guy, lanky. Got some amazing power there.
Infield solid.
Infield solid.
Who fills in for Uribe? Is it going to be Jose Ramirez?
That's what it's looking like.
They wouldn't dare put Santana over there on occasion.
Oh, no.
Would they?
It's going to be Ramirez. Yeah. Which is, you're not going to lose anything offensively. Well,
No.
some power, but yeah.
Or defensively, you're not going to lose anything. Matter of fact, he might be better than Uribe defensively.
Yeah, it probably is.
At third base.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the infield is solid, and another solid part of the Indians, I think, of course, is the starting rotation with Corey Kluber, Carlos Carrasco. Those are proven solid number 1 and number 2 starters,
Right.
with strikeout potential galore.
Yeah, along with.
Did you get to see them pitch in Arizona?
Got to see him pitch. Got to see him all pitch. Most of them were stretching their arms out, doing like 4 or 5 innings. Yeah, I got to see most of them pitch. Most of them did a nice job.
The Indians are claiming that is one of their strong parts is their starting rotation. I do too, at least the first 2. Now I'm looking at Danny Salazar. He's going to be their 3rd starter. He had a great year last year. I have to confess, I never thought he would. I just thought he would never make it, but he did have that one good year last year. So I don't want to put him in with that Corey Kluber and Carrasco just yet, but a good number 3 starter.
Oh yeah, I think him getting sent down the beginning of last year was kind of a wake-up call. You know, he wasn't putting in the time he should have been could have been putting towards the game, and really came on strong.
A lot of the Indians media people are looking, they want to see what Trevor Bauer is going to do this year. What about Bill Kehoe?
I'd like to see what he's going to do too. He's kind of a odd duck, but
A little bit of a head case, you
a little
think?
bit of a head case. I hope he turns it on.
But he has potential.
I know he had potential 3 years ago with Arizona.
He gets that one bad inning all the time,
Yeah.
costs him.
The good news, if he doesn't produce come All-Star break, he could be part of a package. They've got a lot of little bits and pieces of different guys with different talents that they could package up with a deal.
Sure, and
Maybe even before the season starts, who knows?
Bauer, when he does get in trouble, it's not usually by the hit, it's by the walks.
Yeah.
And then that one big hit, and you get 3 runs coming in.
Right. Yeah, they're working on that.
Number 5 starter, of course, they may not need a number 5 starter for first couple of weeks, especially around here with the weather and stuff, but is it going to be Tomlin? Is it going to be Cody Anderson, who pitched extremely well yesterday?
Boy, I didn't really see much of Tomlin, but he signed that 2-year deal, so he's going to be somewhere. If he's not a starter, he'll become the first one out of the bullpen probably.
Like a long reliever?
Yeah.
Or you could say the same thing about Cody then.
Right.
One of those might go to the bullpen. I think one of them will go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
But who's going to get the start? Who do you think?
I might go with
Tomlin?
Tomlin just for the experience.
They both throw strikes. They're not going to put people on with walks.
Right. I think Anderson has an option if you wanted to send him down. But like I say, another part of a trade package right there. Some floating guys that could help another club.
Well, that's their strengths. The infield, of course, and the starting pitching. And now one of the parts that we're a little bit concerned about is the outfield right now. You already mentioned Brantley's going to start the year on the DL, and they just announced today Chisenhall's going to also start the year on the
I didn't
disabled
hear that.
list. So right now we're looking at Davis in left, Naquin in center, and Marlon Byrd in right. What do you think about that outfield?
It's not bad until everyone gets healthy. Bird's got some power, although he's 38 years old. I had to look him up because I'd never heard him. And yet he'd hit 75 home runs in the last 3 years.
Yeah, Naquin, he's a left-handed hitter,
He is a lefty.
and he plays pretty good defense.
Plays pretty good defense. The thing they're worried about with him, he likes to run in the walls, chasing balls. So the key is keeping him healthy. Keeping him healthy. Boy, he has a beautiful swing, though. Beautiful line
Great
drive
spring,
swing.
over 20 hits.
Yeah, beautiful swing.
Some surprising power, too. Where does he bat in that lineup on opening day?
Oh,
7,
opening
8,
day,
9?
Yeah, somewhere down there. Unless he can produce like he's producing down in Arizona.
Now, Rajah Davis is a hitter. Well, he played with Detroit last year. He's kind of, mid-30s maybe?
Yeah.
Good speed for a guy in his
Good
mid-30s, but can he hit enough?
Well, he used to hit the Indians pitchers. They were rattling off some of the
No, so did
averages.
Marlon Byrd used to hit the Indian
right.
pitching too.
I think he'll be fine. He sounds like a good pickup.
Is he down 7, 8, 9 as well? For at
He
least opening
almost
day?
have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the backup outfielders here, I had this down here somewhere, and now I can't find it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did have. Will Venable was cut today, so he's not going to make the staff, and neither is a couple pitchers that they cut today was Joe Thatcher was one of them. Did you get to see him pitch at all?
Saw him pitch once, yeah.
Okay, and what'd you think of those two, Venable and Thatcher being released?
Well, based on the numbers they were putting up, I mean, I'm not really that good of a position to tell you who can stay. Who I remember reading about Venable when he played with the Padres. He was pretty talented back then, but he has a horrible autograph. I'll tell you that.
So when Brantley and Chisenhall comes back, and with Naquin still in center, I'm assuming he'll be in center. Any talk about moving Brantley back to center?
No, I think his natural position's left. They want
He
him in
did start
left.
as a center fielder.
Right, but they prefer him in left. So he might, when everyone's healthy, you might see Davis in center.
What's your thoughts on the bullpen? Now Ross Detweiler, newcomer lefty, he's the only left-hander they're going to have out in the bullpen. They did give him a starting spot. Did you get to see him pitch at all?
I did get to see him. haven't really taken the time to research who he is and where he's been, but I think he has a lengthy major league career.
Yes, we all know about Brian Shaw. He's done
Brian Shaw.
very good. Cody Allen, of course, the closer. Jabba Chamberlain is new this year.
Jabba Chamberlain, nice guy. Talked to him. He wants to get another World Series ring. Lost about 20 pounds. Very friendly guy. Excited for him. Because this is a make or break year for him.
Yes,
He really had
kind of like Santana.
Right.
And of course, Jeff Manship came out of nowhere last year, and he looked good so far down in Arizona
Yeah.
as a good reliever. Now, the only one that they're keeping in that bullpen that I'm not too thrilled about is Zach McAllister. What about you? You like him, I can tell.
I do like him.
Yes, hard thrower.
Yes. We were
So
right
he
next to the
developed
bullpen
another
watching him
pitch.
warm up. Yeah. I don't know. Probably to be in the starter he does. But he seems to be effective in the bullpen.
For at least one good inning.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you think about the bullpen overall?
I think they look pretty darn good.
Okay. So what would concern you going into the year, besides that play in April? Obviously health, got to stay healthy. Where do you see them in their division? They got to improve their play against division opponents. Last year they did not fare well there. That's got to improve. Playing better in April's got to improve.
Right. Like I said, if they stay healthy, I think they're going to be fine. But, you don't know what to expect.
Can they overtake Kansas City?
I think they lost some key pieces. Kansas City lost some players there. And I think we're going to be competitive rather than come out and say, oh, this is the year, get your tickets.
Right.
I think they're improved over what I saw 12 months ago.
Tribe TV announcers said when you look at that division, Matt Underwood and Rick Manning, all those teams could finish first or last. They all got their good parts and they all got some flaws.
Right, and it takes...
Look at Detroit. Who would have thought they would have finished last year?
Exactly. They had so much power on that team. I'm thinking, who can possibly beat these guys?
I know we
one
can.
guy after another, 20, 30 home runs, but it's all that. It's the defense, it's the pitching, it's a lot of different things that make up speed. A lot of things go into making a championship team.
Do you think if the Indians stay within a run or two by the 6th or 7th inning, they have a good chance of coming back to win that game? Did you know how they had struggled scoring runs? So if they could stay, like say let's next Monday against David Price, if you're within a run with him in the 6th, 7th inning, you pretty got a chance to get into the Boston bullpen.
Well, I like having a guy like Uribe or a Bird that are 38 years old and still have the bat speed and been around long enough, been there, done that. I like the idea of having them up batting against them.
Do you like Terry Francona?
Yeah, seems to be a nice guy.
So
Seems to be a disciplinarian too.
are they going to make the playoffs? If you had to say right now.
I think they have the talent to make the playoffs.
Okay, you heard that, Cindy. They have the talent to make the playoffs. I do too. I agree with that. I said that last year too. And I think the year before. And they did though, didn't they? Well, in fact, I think they say that every year.
I'm thinking, they're talking about pitching. Well, they had the same pitching come up last year. But they weren't giving up 4 outs an inning because the defense was so horrible.
Exactly.
So it makes the pitchers that much better. So, yeah, there's a lot of pieces that go into making a decent team.
Sure. Well, Bill, you want to recognize some, we'll close with this, you want to recognize some people down there in Arizona. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did meet up with some Conneaut people here in Arizona. Joel Taylor, who's from Conneaut High School principal.
Long time
His
baseball coach here in
Oh,
Conneaut
yeah.
as well.
his brother Opie and his brother Bill.
Oh, okay.
Saw them. In fact, they took us to the airport on our last day there, which I was very appreciative of. My brother had gone back to Idaho and earlier in the morning we were going to Uber, but they called and said, hey, you want to come to not only come to the game with them and then we'll take you to the airport. Hey, thank you. It was very nice.
Now, Bill, these ballparks in Arizona, they're all in the Phoenix area, or is it the Tucson area?
No, not Tucson. It's too far.
Phoenix area.
All Phoenix area.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's pretty much close. And Bruce Lyons was with them also.
Okay.
And I ran into former Conneaut resident Dave Duncan.
Dave Duncan.
Dave Duncan, name from the past,
Yeah.
was related to Bill Taylor at one time. So he called me and I ran into Dave 2 years ago also. And my son ran into Brett Heineman.
Brett was out there.
Yeah.
Okay, he's living out west somewhere now.
He lives in Arizona there, yeah.
Yeah.
So they made arrangements to get together. So it was very nice. And the other, I know you're big on trivia, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
So I brought you a trivia.
Don't ask me a trivia question
I
on
brought you
television.
a trivia question.
That's my job to ask the trivia questions.
I know, I'll be sitting at home, I say, here, Chuck's got a question. Okay, what is it? Well, here's my question for you. What do the following people have in common?
Oh, boy.
Tyler Naquin, Francisco Lindor, Lonnie Chisenhall, Mickey Callaway, Larry Dolan, Matt Underwood, Jabba Chamberlain, Will Venable, Terry Francona, Joey Butler, and here's the kicker, Peter Gammons. Peter Gammons.
Gammons is a news reporter. Do I get a multiple choice?
No,
A hint?
no hint.
Oh, boy, that's a long list of people to try to...
Yeah, if I hadn't thrown Gammons in there, you might have gotten it.
Does that have something to do with news reporting or anything like that?
No.
Lonnie Chisenhall's in there with Naquin. I know they were high draft choices. Anything to do with draft choices? I give up.
Okay, the answer is they are all autographs that appear in your Cleveland Indians yearbook.
My Cleveland Indians yearbook. How about that? Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Look at that. All these autographs right there. To Chuck G, best wishes.
Why? Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Very good. Very, very good. So with that,
Go try.
go Tribe. Okay, thanks Bill for joining us today.
Hey, thank
And
you.
hopefully I'm gonna get down there Arizona next year. I've been throwing hints around the house. We'll see where I get.
You'd love it. You'd be on cloud
I'm
nine.
sure I would. I don't know about a whole week, but maybe 4 or 5 days or something like that would be good. Okay, that's Chuck Guglielmo and Bill Kehoe with another edition of Around the Town with Chuck.